we chose Los Angeles because it's a city in the United States that has a lot of air pollution. And well, you want to talk about it?
Well, since I am studying industrial design, I focus myself on designing something, an object that could fight against air pollution. I researched that in 2010, a study was made where 45% of Californians and 47% of them living in Los Angeles stated that the primary source of this serious problem was the excess of vehicles. With this data, I took my idea. I proposed to create an eco-friendly public bus, and this way we could reduce the excess of vehicles and control air pollution. The public buses will have a hybrid energy system, and the positive effects of this are two. The first one is that it reduces the smoke causing pollution for over 95%, and it removes pollution equivalent to taking 200 cars off the road per year. The buses will also have rechargeable battery, solar energy, and natural gas. While I was making my research in LA and the public buses I wanted to create, I discovered an innovation that was starting to be applied in New York. It is called Simply Grid. It is this one. It is a charging electricity station mostly used for mobile food vendors to power their onboard electricity needs. And these charging electricity stations are also starting to be applied in LA. So in this way, the public buses could charge electricity too if needed. Pollution is a very delicate problem that many countries suffer, and I believe that as industrial designers we have the power to create something that our citizens and our planet needs. So I believe that it is practically impossible to eliminate pollution 100% in one shot, but by proposing piece by piece, we could actually make a change.
Okay, LA is in the top 5 industrial cities in the USA, and one of the common air pollutions are lead, nitrogen, and carbon monoxide. So some damages are like acid rain, cancer, and asthma. As a chemical engineering, I propose like a group of people like go to all the companies and check like the chemical emissions and be sure like they don't use like toxic chemicals. They also be sure they recycle and incite all companies to use other type of chemicals.
Okay, one of the main causes of air pollution in LA are vehicles, and not only in LA, around the world. Why is this? Well, basically because cars produce emissions of carbon dioxide into the air and it contaminates. Our solution as civil engineers is to propose the construction of an efficient public transportation system taking advantage of existing infrastructure in the city. As we see, LA is a city where there are many highways and roads that connect all the city and surrounding areas. So we can think of a cost-effective project to build a public transportation system using the existing highways, which you can see here, because they mainly are only used in certain times of the day. When, for example, you go to work, to school, and back home, and they're packed, as you can see in the picture here. And in other times of the day, they're basically, well, they're used, but they're not full. So our proposal is to use like 2 lanes of every highway and make the electrical and mechanical installation of a drain that will go through all the city. This is a cost-effective solution because it's a cost-effective solution because it's less expensive than to build a train from zero, and also we are using existing infrastructure that is proved they will will support the weight of the train because statistically they're made to support a lot of weight, and also the time of construction will be less, so therefore all in all it's a very efficient way to eliminate air pollution.
As you know, LA is one of the most contaminated cities in the United States. And also, LA has a lot of traffic, so that makes the problem even bigger. And my proposal is to concern the people about the consequences that this problem could have by making more propaganda on TV commercials, on the streets, and on the radio, so they can be aware about the problems that the city is having, and so they could take more public transportation or bicycles and avoid the usage of cars every day.
Well, so as my classmates already told you, the two big problems in LA is the air pollution, and it is caused mainly because of the traffic in the city. And this is caused because in the last 20 years, the use of public bus and public transportation has been reduced, and the use of cars has increased. And even though that happened, the public transportation is the 27% of the cost of air pollution in LA. So, as an international business, I propose to import this Go Green electric bus, which were established in New Delhi last year. A company created this electric bus and made over 200 buses in New Delhi. So we can import them and put them on LA, and this will reduce the pollution and the traffic. And this may be an expensive, short-term expensive investment because, well, it's not really cheap to create an electric bus. But in a long term, these green Go electric buses are cheaper because a normal bus can go up to 800 kilometers, and it will cost you $60 gas. And this electric bus can go up to 400 kilometers, and it only will cost you $7 electricity dollars.
Okay, as a mechanical engineer, my major is to create machines and make them sustainable. So I was looking at a lot of the pollution in the Los Angeles is because of the fabrics. So I was thinking about creating like a filter you put on top of the fabrics here, and only like 50% of the contaminated air is gonna go out, and the other 50% of the air in helping me like chemical engineers or something, we can create energy of the contaminated air, and we can make it so we can use it for something.
As an industrial engineer, I research about the ports and the ships. That is a major cause of pollution in Los Angeles. As you can see, the diesel trucks emit 129 tons of pollution. This is each year. And one major issue of the diesel trucks is that each day they come 34,000 trucks to the ports to come and go with the containers. And also each day, 16 ships come to the port. That is an equivalent of 1 million cars. So a major issue that is there, as you can see in this picture, is that when they are attending 2 or 3 ships in the ports, many of them are waiting out on the sea. So they cannot turn off their machines because they have electricity, I don't know, refrigeration, anything. So that is causing a lot of emission to the major city. Also, there was a case that the citizens were complaining about, and they received help of NRDC, Natural Resource Defense Council. They were complaining because the China shipment wanted to build a port besides the city, so close to the city that it costs. They made a study that costs us like 60,000 people in a year of 15 years, more or less, to die because of pulmonary disease. So they made a fight with the lawyers to the law, like more or less 2 years until they won. So China shipment needed to invest $50 million on a better way, efficient way, to not cause that much emission, because they needed to let their machines on all the way when they were shipping down, loading and unloading the cargo. So my solution was the cold ironing. That is more or less, instead of your machines being still on, you will connect it to an electric power. So all the usage, like the people that are working inside the ship, do not need to let the machine on, so they can still have light and everything. Also, there was by doing this, we will reduce 29% annually of the emissions, and also each company will save 26% of their diesel. Another solution that they were trying to do was to increase the cargo on each ship 10%, and that would increase the demand of 4%. But there was a major issue because they unloaded more the ships, so there were more accidents, so there were more ships waiting and more emissions. So this is my solution.